Sewmates. It is an absolute pleasure to have you once again on my channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel, please do consider subscribing, because on this channel I'll teach you how to do simple DIY fashion right there in the comfort of your homes, and you do not want to miss out on any of it. Today I'll be teaching you how to make an overlapped circle dress. Now, this is a picture of the dress that we're going to make. This dress is divided into 3 different sections. You have the upper section that has a overlapped design, just as how you would do a wrap dress. Then on this dress you'll have a band, and then you'll have the circle skirt aspect of it. So what I'll be doing today, I'll be showing you how to go ahead to cut this circle dress. So the first thing you want to consider is the length of your circle dress. How long do you want this circle dress to be? So in my case, I want my circle dress to have a total length of 45 inches. That's from the nape of my neck down to where I want the dress to stop. Now let's look at each aspect of this dress. So the first part of this dress is the upper part, or the upper bodice of the dress. That is from the nape of your neck down to your waist. So the total length of the nape of my neck down to my waist is 17 inches. And if you notice that this circle dress will have a band, so I want my band to be 2 inches high. Now you can make your band to be any however high you want it, but I want my band to be 2 inches high. So it means then that in order to know how much this part of the circle dress is going to be, I will have to subtract the total length of from my nape to my waist. I will have to subtract the 2 inches band from that. That will give me 15 inches. So in order now to join this upper part to the band at the bottom, I'm going to need an extra half an inch seam allowance, which is going to give me 15.5 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you on the journey of making the upper part of the body. So this is the fabric that I'm going to use to make this dress. But if I'm afraid, you could cut this dress directly on the fabric, but because it has a lot of patterns, I don't want to cut it on the fabric because you may not be able to see it. So I'm going to use my pattern paper in order to show you how to get the upper part. So we said that, so this is just going to be a basic top. It's not gonna have a princess dart, it's just gonna have a waist dart, and it's still gonna come out really lovely. If you want to have a princess dart, you could go ahead, it still comes out nice, or a shoulder dart, it still comes out nice. I've shown you multiple videos in which you could achieve all of those. So I'm gonna draft the top now, and then we move to the other aspects of this dress. So for this, you're going to need your basic bodice pattern, and I'm gonna show you how you could manipulate it in order to get the overlap. So this is my shoulder line. Then from my shoulder, I'm going to put my chest line, which is about 8.5 inches. You don't need your underbust measurement. That is if you want to make it with a bust here. I don't. It's just gonna be it. So that's my chest line, and from my shoulder is going to be the length of this upper part, which is 15 inches plus half an inch to sew it to the band. So I'm gonna rule those into a straight line. Okay, so now you're going to put your shoulder measurement, and I should tell you that mine is on fold because I'm cutting the back and the front together. Okay, I'm coming down 1 inch and I'm going to connect my shoulder line. This is the 3 inches, 8 inches standard that I have taught you. So I'm gonna put my shoulder measurement 8 1/4. I'm just gonna put my 1/4 inch for seam allowance. So my shoulder is 8 inches and 1/4 for my seam allowance. So it's 8 1/4, and I put the same thing on my chest line, and I'm gonna rule that line down. Now what you're going to do, you're going to find 1/2 inch, the midpoint of that line, to get you're gonna go in 3/4 inch for the front shoulder, and then you're going to connect it. That's for the front shoulder now. So here you're going to put your bust measurement. My bust is 42, which is 10.5, and I'm gonna add 1/2 inch for ease, plus 1 inch to sew my fabric together, and I'm going to curve this point right here. And since I'm joining the front and the back, I'm going to connect the back armhole also, which is this. Okay, so this is the back armhole, this is the front armhole, this is my actual bust plus seam allowance, and this is my seam allowance. So at my waist, I'm going to put my waist measurement. My waist is 36 inches. 1/4 of 36 inches is 9, right? I'm gonna put my nipple to nipple measurement for my dart, which is 4 inches. Okay, and what I want you to do for the back, you know, you're gonna come down 1 inch from your chest line to get your shoulder measurement, but the front, not your shoulder measurement, your dart measurement, where your dart will stop. But for the front, remember, you have to take in consideration your bust point, which mine is 10 1/2 inches, which is here. So I'm just going to put a temporary mark there, just because I want to draw the dart properly. So I'm gonna indicate that with a dash line like this, to show that that is my bust point line. You're not really gonna need it, you're just gonna need it for your dart, okay? When you're drawing the front dart. So that's the indication that I've made that that is my bust line. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take my dart. So this is, I'm gonna take 1/2 inch on both sides. And this is the back and the front. And I'm going to connect it to this point, right? So this is the back, this is for the back, remember, okay? And I'm going to connect it for my seam allowance. I'm gonna make that straight. Ensure that when you check here, you should have 1 inch. Okay, when you check this, you should have 1 inch. So that would be for the back. All right, so here I'm going to put my waist measurement. My waist is 36 inches plus 1 inch for the dart, which is 10, plus another inch to sew it together, 11. And then I'm going to connect this point there. So ensure here that you have 11 inches. Okay, so this would be the back, but we're going to use the back to actually cut the front. So what I'm going to do, I know I'm going to need my back. I don't want it to be too wide, so I'm going to maintain, I'm going to do 3 1/4. I don't want it to be too wide, and I'm going to come down at the back 1 inch. But remember, there's going to be a zipper at the back, so when you're cutting it on your fabric, ensure that you put the zipper there. And I'm going to put my 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut out this pattern here. Okay, so this is the back of the pattern. This is the back. So what you're going to do, you're going to cut it on the fabric. I'm gonna take 1 inch for sewing allowance, so the zipper allowance. So that's what I'm marking here. Okay, Sewmates, so at this point, I'm going to come in 1/2 inch to avoid the zipper bulge. Okay, Sewmates, so what I did at this point was that I came in and 1/2 inch to avoid the zipper bulging, okay? So that's optional for you if you don't desire. So I'm cutting that off, and then I'm gonna proceed to cut out the back. And this is for the lining. Okay, one more thing, just for your own sanity, mark your darts. So I know that that's where my dart's supposed to go. I'm gonna use my I know that my darts stop here and here. This is the wrong side. Wrong side. Need to be quiet. Okay. Now, let's go to the front. So for the front now, I want to maintain this dart at the front. I want to maintain this dart at the front. So it means then that I'm going to slant it all the way to wherever I want here to stop, okay? It doesn't matter how far you want it. In my case, I maybe just do from the center now. This is my center. I'm going to go over about 3 1/2 inches, which is about the middle of the other dart, which is here, okay? And then I know that I already took off 1 inch here for my back. So it depends on how much you want your cleavage to show, which I do not want my cleavage to show that much. So I want to take it down about 7 inches. Okay? And what you're going to do, you're going to make a curve from here through here and to where you want it to stop. Okay? So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna make a curve, or you could draw yours straight, it doesn't matter. Right there. And then to where I want it to actually stop. About there. So this is what you're going to have. And what you're going to do, you're going to cut it off. Okay, so you don't need this anymore, you throw this away. And this is what you're going to cut 2 of. You're going to cut 2 of this. You can also line it. I'm just going to use a facing to cover mine. Okay. You're going to cut 2 of this. As I said, you can go ahead and line yours. Use a lining to turn yours, but I'm just going to use a facing. You have to be careful though, because you want, so this is my wrong side. So I'm gonna mark that to be my wrong side. So what you want to do is you want wrong side to be facing wrong side, or right side to be facing right side. If you don't do that, you're gonna run yourselves in some difficulties. Okay, so ensure that you double check whenever you're making this step. And also remember to cut out your armhole, the front armhole. Also, you need to alter this. Remember, I told you that this will not go all the way to your chest line, right? To your chest. It's gonna go about 1 inch down from the bust line. So we said, remember, we indicated the red line to be the bust line. So you're gonna take that down and you're gonna stop your dart about here, this space. So you're gonna redraw that. Should have had another color to show you. See, you're gonna redraw this line right here, because you don't want it to go all the way up there. So all of this is gonna be out. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this out. Mark your darts. Remember, it stops here. And then you're going to notch also your middle. It's gonna come in very handy. You're gonna notch your middle, notch your middle. Okay. So this is what you're going to have. Okay, so this is the wrong side, wrong side. So you have 2 right sides like this. So this is what you're going to have. These are the 2 middle. all you're going to do is that you're going to get facing, join facing, okay? So this is what you are going to have. So I'm gonna just cut the facing for this. Okay, Sewmates, so now that we are done with the top part, we're going to move to the second part, which is the band. Okay, so the band, I said I want it to be 2 inches high. All right, it's going to be 2 inches high. So it means then that I'm going to unfold, because what I want is that the band, I want the band to look like this. So this is my fabric. I want my band to be folded. Okay, I want you to pay attention, because I'm not gonna line this. When I fold it, it's gonna be quite thick enough in order to get the weight. And if I feel like it's too thin, I'm going to put some interfacing in it to give it some stability. But I want my band to be 2 inches high. If I should fold this like this, then my 2 inches would be here. But you have to consider joining, the seam allowance to join. So it means then I'm going to attach the band to the upper part and also to the bottom part. So I'm gonna need 1/2 inch to do that, to attach it to the bottom and also to attach it to the top. So it means then I need a band that is 3 inches high. So how much fabric will I need? I want a fabric now that is 6 inches high, because if I should fold it, right? If I should fold it, I'm going to get 3 inches. Okay? So it will look something like this. Okay? It will be 3. I'm gonna cut off the selvage, so it's gonna look like this. 3 inches high. So that's what you need to cut. You determine how wide you want your band to be. And what's the length of the band? You're going to need your waist measurement. Mine is 36 inches. Plus, I'm going to need an extra 2 inch for the zipper allowance at the back. So that would be 38 inches. Okay? So let me say that again. The length would be your waist measurement. Mine is 36. Plus I'm gonna need, when I bring the band around my body, I'm gonna need 1/2 inch for the zipper. 1/2 inch on the zipper. So 1 inch on the zipper. So that's gonna be 38 inches. So all of this is gonna be 38 inches for the band. Okay? Ensure that you have the correct measurements. So I'm just double checking my measurements. Unfold, it should be 18 inches plus the extra inch for the seam allowance. So this is the band. That wraps up the band. Now let's look at the skirt part. Now I've dedicated a whole video showing you how to make a full circle skirt. So the bottom of this is gonna have a full circle skirt. Okay? So this is the third aspect. So the skirt, for the skirt, in order to calculate it, you're going to have your waist measurement. Take your waist. Mine is 36 inches. I'm gonna add 2 inches to that because I want it to have a seam in the side where I could put a pocket. So that would be 38 inches. Okay? Now 38 divided by 6.28 is going to be 6 inches. What is 6.28? 6.28 is pi that you're going to use in order to calculate the radius of your skirt. So the radius is going to be 6 inches. That's gonna be my radius. So to know how much fabric I'm gonna need, the length of the skirt, if you look here, the length of my skirt is gonna be 28 inches. But I'm gonna add 1 inch for seam allowance to hem it. So the amount of fabric that I'm gonna need, it will be 29 inches plus the radius, which is 6 inches. So that's gonna be 36 inches on fold. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna show you now how you could cut the bottom of this skirt. Okay, Sewmates, so to cut the band, remember to cut the bottom part of the dress. Remember we said that we are going to need 36 inches on fold. So here I have my 36 inches on fold. It's folded. See? 1, 2. Ensure that the width is 34 inches, and also this part should be 34 inches also. So what you're going to do is that, so this is it, this is the folded part now. This here is the folded part. You're going to take the folded part and you're going to make a little triangle like this. See? You're going to make a little triangle like this. So you notice here you have your triangle now, right? Ensure that it's straight so that you don't run yourselves in any problems. And then you're going to go ahead and take your length. So now remember we said that the total length is going to be 35 and I made it 36. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that measurement from the tip now, the tip, all the way to 36, which is here. And you're going to connect all those points. You're going to connect all those points, see? Then you're going to take your radius. Your radius is going to be 6 inches, but listen to me carefully. You're not going to take 6 inches. If you take the exact measurement, when you join it, it's going to be too big. So you're going to take off half an inch from your radius, which is 5.5 inches. And that's what I'm putting here. You're going to connect that. You're going to cut this out. Okay, so this is going to be the front of the skirt. Okay, so you're going to use this front to cut the back. Take out the 1 inch for the zipper allowance. Then you're going to take that measurement. You're going to put it from the zipper allowance now. Don't make that mistake. Remember, the zipper should be outside. And then you're going to cut it out. This is going to be the circus skirt. See how beautiful this is? Full it is. This is the back. Pockets. This is the band. This is the front. This is the back. These are the pockets. And this part is the circus skirt part. Okay? So if you find this video helpful, do not forget to give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you'll be notified each time I make a video. Until we meet again, I will see you soon. Bye.